Hello, grade 9. Uh, Today, inshallah, we are going to study lesson 4.5, which is talking about scatter plot. We want at the beginning to understand what the meaning of scatter plot. An effective way to see a relationship in data is to display the information as a scatter plot. So if you want to know the way to describe the relationship between the data or between the information of the data, then this is called a scatter plot. It shows how two variables related to each other by showing how closely the data points fit to a line. Then we have two sets of data. If you want to talk about the scatter plot, so the basic that we have two variables, two set of data, and we will start to plot them, and then we will decide what is the relationship between the data. The following table presents the information on Torrendo occurrence. Make a scatter plot for the table. So at the beginning, I have the table, and the table represent the year 1950, 1955, 1960, and so on, and the the information on Torrendo occurs, so the number of Torrendos. We will start to represent graphically, and we can note that all the numbers here, it's positive number. For this reason, we are going to represent in first quadrant, which is positive and positive. Now we will start to represent the data. So we have in 1950, we have 201. In 1955, we have 593. In 1960, we have 660, and so on. We are going to plot the points. Then, the scatter plots provide a convenient way to determine whether a correlation exists between the two variables. So we have a correlation between the two variables, and we want to know now if this relation or this correlation, it will be positive, it will be negative, it will be no correlation. It depends on the position of the points once we will represent it graphically. So we want to discuss or to want to decide it, this one, it will be which correlation. Let's think about the answer for this question. Correlations occurs when both variables increases. So you have two situations, you have two actions, you have two variables, and both are increasing in the same time. So think to choose one word from three. It will be positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation. Both variables increases. It will be positive. Okay. Second, the correlations occurs when one variable increase and the other variable decrease. So we have one increase and the other is decrease. And after a while, I'm going to give you different examples about each case. But at the beginning, we have to know the basic. If both two variables are increasing in the same time, then this will be positive. If the two variables, one of them increases and the other it decreases, so this is called negative correlation. The third case, if the data points are randomly scattered, there is no or little correlation. Then the two data, they random scattered, they don't have a strong relation between them, then we will find the points in have a distance between the points when you represent it graphically, so it will be a little or no correlation. Let me give you an example about each one. So this one, did you see all of them go to the positive side from down to up? Then this will be positive correlation, second and third. Now we want to differentiate together. So this is positive correlation, negative correlation, and little or no correlation. In this question, the scatter plots of data relates characteristics of children from 0 to 18 years old. Match each scatter plot with appropriate variable studied. We have three graphs. Please think for a while. Which graph we can connect by the situations up above? Age and height, age and eye color, age and time needed to run a certain distance. Age and height, it will be no correlation, it will be positive correlation, or it will be negative correlation. Think. Let me start with you. Age and height. For sure, when you grown up, your height should be increased. Then the both two data should be increased together, right? If we will discuss about only the graphs in front of us now, the first one, this is represent no correlation between age and eye color. Okay, I have 12 years old. What is the relation between my age and my eye color? So this is no correlation at all. For this reason, the first graph, it will go to the second situation. Think for the next. As your age increases, your height also increase. And this one, it will go where? Which situation? So this one, it will go to situation number 1. Third, age and time needed to run a certain distance. When as your age increase, the time will decrease. You have 10 years old and you have 2 years old. The distance which you are going to run a certain distance for sure, you will time it will decrease once your age increase. For this reason, third graph, it will go to third situation. Then again, we want to know what is the scatter or the three different types of the scatter plot. So we have positive correlations, the both two variables increasing together. Negative correlation, one increase and the other is decrease. And no correlation, because no relation between the two data or the two variables, or the first data, it will not affect in the second data. Sometimes points on a scatter plot are presented by a trend line or think a line of best fit. So we have a line of best fit which we can put it as much as we can at the middle of the points. Then sometimes points on a scatter plot are represented by a trend line or a line of best fit. You can study the line to see how the data behaves. You may have a basic predict what the data might be for values not given. Example, find the line of best fit for the scatter plot you made on the first page to fit the line to the points. Choose your line so that the best matches have overall trend. The line does not have a path through any of the points. So this is the example which we have it at the beginning. Now we want to draw the line of best fit, which it will be at the middle for the data. Okay, then look at this line as much as we can. It's not exactly. We are going to draw it at the middle of the point. So if we look at above the line, you will find that you have 1, 2, 3 points. Under the line, you have 1, 2, 3, and you have 4 touched to the line. In this one, he said, use the line of best fit to predict how many tornadoes may be reported in the United States in 215 if the trend continues. Then Here in this one, the trend is continuous. We connected the trend, so we will go to 215, and then we will go up till we will intersect the line of PISbit, and then we will read the data in the y-axis. So that means what? That means that if the trend continues, we predict that there will be 1,200 tornadoes reported in 215. If the data points are close to the line of best fit, is it said to have a strong correlation? So now in this part, we are going to study what is the strong correlations and what is the weak correlations. If the data points are closed, let me give you an example for each one. If I want to draw the line of best fit here to this one now, in your opinion, it will be strong or weak? So it will be weak positive. Why? Because we have a distance between points. We will move to the next one. Think? Yes, it will be strong positive. Why? Because we have points, it's very close to each other. Let's move to the third one. It's already negative, but it will be weak or strong. It will be weak negative. The last one, it will be strong negative. So thank you for your watching, and we meet in another video. We will continue to discuss a sheet which we have it in our class. So at the beginning we have the correlation. So the scatter plots and trend lines. Correlation is one way to describe the relationship between two sets of data, as we said. So we have a positive correlation, the data as one set increase to the other set increase. Graph, the graph goes up from left to right, as you see here. What is the negative correlation? The data as one set increase, the other set decrease. The graph goes down from left to right, goes down from left to right, goes up from left to right. No correlation, data, no relation between the sets, and the graph, no pattern, no standard. We have an example. Identify the correlation you would expect to see between the number of grams of fat and the number of calories in different kinds of pizza. When you look at this data or this information, you will discover that. Identify the correlation you will expect to see between the number of grams fat and the number of calories. What do you expect? For sure, when you increase the amount of fat in food, you also increase calories. So you would expect to see a positive correlation. Another example, we want to differentiate, or we want to say that this one, it will be a positive correlation or negative correlation or no correlation. The number of knots trend in a rope and the length of the rope. This one, it will be positive or negative. It will be a negative correlation. Why? Because each knot decrease the length of the rope. So you have a long rope, and then you are going to make a knot, then each one, it will be decrease the length. So it will be a negative correlation. Next, the height of a woman and her score on the algebra test. The height of a woman and her score in algebra test. What is the relation? Positive, negative, or no correlation? This one, it should be what? This one should be no correlation, because the short woman, it will not fail in the algebra test, right? So the height of a woman, so this one, it will be no correlation in this situation. No correlation. What about the first one? it will be negative correlation. Okay, let's move to the next question. Describe the correlation for each scatter plot. Okay, for question number 3. Question number 3, it will be positive, negative, or no correlation. This one. It will be positive, negative, or no correlation. It will be negative correlation. Okay, so this is negative correlation. Why? Because the data decreased from left to, decreased down from left to right. Okay, so it will be negative correlation. What about this one? Question number 4. Question number 4, it will be positive correlation. Thank you. By drawing a trend line over a graph of data, you can make prediction. So as I said in the previous part, that we can use the line of trend lines to predict the data. Then draw a trend line through the points. So here we have the scatter plot show a relation between a man's height and the length of his femur or thigh's bone. Based on this relationship, predict the length of man's femur if his height is 160 centimeters. Okay, so we will draw the line of best fit. We will choose any order pair like 160 and 41. 160 represent the height. We have to read the label in the axis. So this one is the height in centimeter, and this femur length by centimeter. A man that is 160 centimeter tall would have a femur about 41 centimeter long. To find the x value, go right from the y values. Then you will stand here in this line for the y value, and we will move, and then we will go down. Or from here to find an x values to right from y values, then go down. Then man with 42 centimeter would be 42. So I will go up here, right, for 42, and then I'm going to draw the line 42. I will stand in this 42. Okay, and then I will stop, and we will go down. The scale here, it's 162, 64, 66, 68, and then 70. Then if it's 42, it will be 162. So this was our lesson today. Please, you can don't hesitate to ask me any question related to the lesson and answer your homework. Thank you.